of practical. Now, I'd like to give you some terms that you need to be familiar with. And these are, when you say a core course, what do you mean? It means that that course, you must take it and you must pass it before you graduate. A core course is a compulsory course. Then you have an elective course. An elective course is an optional course. You like to take it, go ahead. If you don't, no problems. And when you fail it, you don't have to take it again. But of course, it will affect your GP if you fail it. And if you pass it well, it enhances your GP. I'm going to talk about GP very soon. So if you are taking an elective course, apart from the knowledge you are aiming at, aim at the course you also do well so that it can increase your GPA. Then cognate courses. These courses are strongly advised that you take. However, if you fail a cognate course, you don't have to do it again. There are some departments that have some cognate courses that, in fact, for them, you must do it. But if you fail it, no problem. But at least you have to do it. Then when you have our courses are 4-letter codes with figures, 3 figures. But when the NUC Systemas comes now, it may alter this. But for now, this is what we are using. So you have, for example, I give you one example, Zool 231. Zool tells you that it's a zoology course. 2 is a 200 level course. 3 for us is a zoology course in the department complex. Then 1 tells you whether it's a first semester or a second semester. So if it's an odd number, it's a first semester course. If it's an even number, it's a second semester course. Good. Dinma, I'd like to quickly say that this, like you said, I told them in class, I said we have a very good set of students and we're expecting a lot of A's from them. You can see their performance, you can see their resilience, you can see their attention, and so on. So please keep it up. We're looking forward to seeing very good grades from you. All right, so quickly, I would like to take you through this very briefly. Now, if you have A, you have 5 points, B, 4, C, 3, D, 2, E, 1, F, 0. So you want to calculate your GPA, for example. 2 major things are important. Number 1, the credit unit you register. Number 2, the total credit points. How do you get the credit point? The credit point is multiplying the credit unit by that point. A, 5, B, 4, as the case may be. So, credit point for a 2 credit unit course where you got B is 2 times what? 4. That's what? 8. What about a course that you have A and it's a 3 credit unit course? What is the total credit? 3 times what? Excellent. That is 15. Okay. So for you to get your GPA is simple. All your credit points, you add them, and then you divide by the total credit unit you registered. So in this case, you have 8 plus 6 plus 6 down to 0. Then if you add all that, you are going to have 44. 44. So when you divide 44 by the credit unit that you registered here, the registered credit unit is 16. 44 divided by 16 gives you what? 2.75. That is your GPA, not 2.75 as students will call it. Okay, TCUR. Okay, sorry, let's quickly do that. I'm managing my time. So TCUR means total credit unit registered. TCUE is total credit unit N. Any course you don't pass, you have not earned it. So it's 0, you didn't earn anything. TCP is total credit point. Then GPA is grade point average. So these are the acronyms we have there. So you want to calculate your GPA, is simply TCP, you add it, divide by TCUR. But the cumulative of your GP, that is CGPA, is calculated by adding the TCP all, that is if you have 2 semesters, TCP of first semester plus TCP of second semester, all over total credit unit registered of first semester plus total credit unit registered for second semester. Because some of you will find the average. They will say GPA for first semester plus GPA for second semester divided by 2. You are wrong. Don't do it that way. TCUE is used in placement into levels. Every student is expected to have at least 12 credit units earned in a semester. So if you earn 12 credit units in a semester, by the time you are at the end of your first year, we're expecting you to have how many credit units earned? 24, excellent, 24. If you don't have up to 24, it means that you are still in 100 level in your second year. Yes. So we don't place you in 200 level. You must have 24 and above for you to be in 200 level. At the end of your second year, we're expecting you to have at least 48 credit units you have earned. If you earn less than 48 credit units, it means you are not in 300 level at your third year. It means you are either in 200 level or 100 level. So there are some students that after 4 years, they are still in 100 level. Yes. Unfortunately. Because TCUE is what we use in placing you into levels. If you have 4.50 to 5.0 at the end of your program, that means you are a first class student. If you have 3.50 to 4.49 at the end of your final year, it means that you are on second class upper. 2.40 to 3.49. Please note that here is 2.40, not 2.50, because a lot of students think it's 2.50 that is second class upper. No, from 2.40 to 3.49, that's second class lower. Then third class, you have 1.50 to 2.39, that's third class. If you have less than 1.50, okay, there's a pass degree. There's a pass degree. The pass degree is between 1.0 and 1.49. That's pass degree. But if you have less than 1.0, that is failed, and you're not supposed to be given any certificate. So, critical information, you must not be withdrawn, but you can be withdrawn on these 3 criteria. 1, if you fail to register 2 consecutive, if you fail to register for 2 consecutive sessions, that means you'll be withdrawn. If you have CGPA of less than 1 for 4 consecutive semesters, then you'll be withdrawn. If you are engaged in exam malpractice, that's automatic withdrawal. Now, quickly, I'll talk about registration. Registration is flexible under the course credit system. For you, minimum of 12 credit units you register per semester, minimum. Don't, please, on no occasion should you register less than 12 credit units, except otherwise. Okay, please tell me my time is up because, okay, thank you very much. Then maximum is 24 credit units. Don't register more than 24 credit units. On no occasion should you register more than 24 credit units. Now, if you do a course in a semester and you don't pass the course, the next session, you must register those courses first. Please listen, it's a must. Don't go and carry 200 level courses and believe in the 100 level course that you fail. You must take that 100 level course that you fail first. If you have space, then you now take the 200 level courses. If your GP is low, please avoid taking more than 16 credit units, 16 credit units as much as possible. Because the more load you have, the heavier it will be on your head, and then the lower your performance may be. So you must note that you shouldn't take so many credit units, especially when you don't have academic balance. Quickly, as I try to run a roundup, examination ethics. You are not qualified to sit for any exams if you have less than 75% attendance. Attendance is compulsory. Candidates are to consult their notice boards for details of examinations. Example, the time, the venue, you must do that. In fact, you go first to the faculty exam office for that morning if you have exam and check, because sometimes there may be alterations. So every morning, at least 1 hour before the exam, go to your notice board and check and see that, okay, you know the venue, you know the time, and so on. In the examination venue, candidates are checked in by the invigilator, so you must subject yourself to checking. Every student must present an examination card, an identity card, before entrance into the exam hall. So these two must be with you when you are going to the exam hall. Okay. Your exam card also has some of the rules and regulations, and quickly I'll run through them. You must be in the exam vicinity at least 30 minutes before the exam time begins, or before the exam time. Candidates are required to sign the attendance slip when you enter the examination hall. There is an examination slip you must sign. No candidate will be permitted to enter the examination room if he or she is more than 30 minutes late. So if you are more than 30 minutes late, you have lost that exam. Yes. Don't even attempt, because as far as we are concerned, we can't usher you in. So you must be on time. You must not leave the examination room before the end of 45 minutes after the commencement of the exams. You must not leave the examination room during the last 15 minutes of the exam. So you sit there until the last minute. Candidates are not permitted to introduce into the examination room papers of any kind. You will not be pardoned. Don't say I forgot. Candidates must write the examination number only on each separate answer booklet. For you, some of you, it's a CBT we are going to start with, so you are going to put on your registration number on your CBT platform. So if a student wishes to attract the attention of the invigilator, you just put up your hand, that's all, and you'll be attended to. Once we see your hand up, we'll come to you. Candidates are warned that introduction of handsets and any other electronic device that are not relevant to the examinations are not allowed. This one, smart wristwatch and the rest, this one has brought about so many issues with students, so many withdrawals and so on. Please don't come with these things. Absolute silence must be maintained during the period of examination. Non-adherence to the above regulations may and or lead to severe punishment, which one of them always is withdrawal. So, you don't borrow materials during examinations. In an exam, you are independent. Yes, and test. Thank you very much. Then, sorry, about registration, let me quickly add the matter of add or drop. Add and or drop. You can add, you can drop. This is a window given to students to check whatever courses you feel that you have registered. If you feel there are courses that are not relevant that you registered, you are given a window to drop them. If there are some that are relevant that you didn't register, you are given a window to add them. Please take note, and it's given a time frame. If that time elapses, you are on your own. You have to face the music. So, as much as possible, use the window very well. Once a student leaves an examination hall on his own, he will not be admitted. Imagine that you just finished and you went out and you noticed I didn't answer question 4. I said, please, sir. No matter how you beg, you won't be readmitted. In cases of clash of papers, some of you may encounter that. Please go to the faculty officer and report yourself. They are the ones to tell you what to do. Don't choose a paper and say, I'll go and write this one first. When I finish, I'll come and write this one. You're on your own. Once you have a clash, please, you must. All right, I have a student here. And some of you are going to be doing some of these kind of things. We strongly advise you against that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Professor Gigi So, for that wonderful lecture on course credit system, stroke examination rules and regulations. So he ended by saying there is no giraffing, no sort of examination malpractice if you want to remain and graduate in ABU. While he was talking, we received the presence of the Dean of Environmental Design, Professor Abdullah Abubakar. You're welcome, sir. Yes, he graced the occasion for another faculty to come and be with our students. Yes, and he's always with us. The barcode, yes, this is the barcode for the YouTube channel that you can subscribe to because we are currently live. I don't know if you can be able to get that. Okay. Go ahead.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, but I just want to, please, we just want to urge to the students, please, everybody should bring out his phones. Everybody should bring out his phone, please. This is the Ahmadu Bello University YouTube channel, and we want everybody to subscribe to the channel so that you will be seeing a lot of updates, especially the programs that are taking place in the university. Please open your phones, open your data. There is wireless here, free wireless here. You can onto that, scan the barcode. It will take you directly to the YouTube channel of the university. Make sure you subscribe, you share to other people, watch videos, like and share as many as you can, please. Please bring your phones, scan the barcode, subscribe and share, please. Thank you very much. Please, you have 60 seconds to do that. Thank you very much.
Yes, quickly do that while we take the next lecture. Before I invite the Director of University Health Services, I'll quickly want to invite the Head of Department of Biochemistry to say one or two things under 1 minute about his department so that he will ginger the students to stay and study hard. You're welcome, sir. I invite Professor Aliyu Saliu. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, the Dean and members of the high table, students, good afternoon. Yes, we have several lectures and motivational talks. And well, the take-home message that I may share with you is first is you take your studies very serious. Take your studies seriously. And the second take-home message is always attend lectures and the practical sessions. And the third one has to do with your respect for university regulations, as well as departmental guidelines. You need to put at the back of your mind that success requires time management, resilience, and personal responsibilities. These are the things that will guide you. And on behalf of the, let me say, Department of Biochemistry, our doors are always open. Feel free to come for anything. We are ready to support both your academic and personal development. And not that success and excellence do not come by chance. They are the results of dedication, consistency, and hard work. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, sir. HOD Biochemistry, Professor Saliu Aliyu. I want to invite Professor S.A. Luka to tell you that study of zoology is not zoo.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to formally welcome our students. I want to stand on the existing protocol. I welcome all our new students to this orientation. As head of Department of Zoology, I want to encourage all our students to take your studies seriously. Part of what I have here to tell you, the head of biochemistry have said it, and you see, as we keep telling you the same thing, it means that we are advising you to do the right thing for the purpose you have been admitted to this university. As you embark on this academic journey, I know you have spent quite some weeks and months here, and most of what we'll be telling you, you have started. I don't want to assume that there are those that have not started studying their books seriously. So I believe you have started, and you have also formed reading groups. Don't read in isolation. If you read in isolation, I tell you, you'll be missing a lot. Try to interact with your classmates. Try to ask questions. Ask questions where necessary. If you ask questions, I tell you, you will know more than even those that are sitting and reading alone in isolation. I want to also say that your lectures and practicals should be taken seriously. Don't waste time. At times we go for lectures and realize that while the lecturer is rushing for a class, you go and see that half of the class is not there. Many are still walking majestically to the lecture hall. Please try and make yourself available at your lecture halls, and then also take your practical sessions very seriously. In the Department of Zoology, we have zoology, biology, and biochemistry. We have general practicals at the end of 400 level, so that all the practicals you have done from 100 level to 400 level, at the end of the day, you are going to be examined. So this is a good time to advise you to take your practical session seriously, so that at the end of the day, you'll be able to write that exam and pass. A lot of students used to have challenges passing that practical, and it starts from the first step they take while they come into the university. So you are very lucky to have this privileged information. Take your work seriously, and above all, avoid exam malpractices. Yes, please. You are not here to cheat. You are here to study and make sure that you spend the maximum number of years you need to spend here. I don't know, I can't remember if Professor Som said anything about the time you have to spend here. Your residency, for a 4-year course, you have 4 plus half the number of years, that is 6 years. So you see, if you cannot, he said you should avoid taking that maximum of 24 credit units. So you can, if you know yourself, you know how far you can study, you can pick as low as 16 credit units, 18 credit units, and move gradually until you graduate, and make sure you spend that 6 years. It's better you spend 6 years and get a second class upper than to spend 4 years and end up with a pass degree. Thank you. You are welcome to ABU Zaria.
Thank you very much, my HOD Zoology. And I wouldn't know whether the HOD Botany and Microbiology will have one thing to say again. I think they have talked before. Because of time, I want to quickly invite the Director, University Health Services, Professor Megatari, to give a brief talk on health. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. The Dean, our chairperson, other deans and directors here present, the academic staff, the Faculty of Life Sciences, the lucky students to have gained admission into one of the greatest faculties that has been a foundation faculty for most of our other courses. Now, I warmly welcome you to Ahmadu Bello University from the University Health Services. On behalf of all of us, we are glad to see you and to interact with you. Since morning, you have had a lot of lectures, guidance, counseling, exam techniques, and so on and so forth. I think I may be the last speaker. Well, fine. What I want to talk about is briefly on 2-3 things. One is your health. 2 is the environment. And 3, the relationship between work, which in this situation is learning, and physical exercise. The University Health Services is a foundation service department of any university. What we are primarily concerned with is your health, and your health actually is our problem. We have about 4 or 5 hospitals, and I think Congo has no life science, so all of them are on the main campus. So for you here, there are basically 2 or 3 places you can access care. And the best way to go, and I always advise the students, is that register early. We are not praying for you to be sick, but if you already have your registration, then your first appearance will be very, very seamless and easy. The registration is also seamless. It takes only 3 to 4 minutes, except if, of course, you meet some other people waiting to register before you. Otherwise, if you present your ID card or your admission letter at the University Medical Center here close to Umar Suleiman Hall, or at the Phase 2 clinic, Sheikh Zazal Hall, isn't it? Near the Distance Learning Center. We recently opened a branch there. So any of these 2 places, as a student on the campus here, you can go and open a card with your admission letter or student's identity card. Now, having done that, you can continue to do your studies. At any moment, if you have issues, please present yourself or your colleagues should bring you. But in a situation where it is a desperate emergency, we normally request 1 or 2 of you or your students' representative council to just make a call to the emergency department, and an ambulance will be sent to carry you within the shortest possible time. And within this campus, I think that time is 5 to 10 minutes at most. We have shared the number during the general orientation. In the event some of you didn't get it, I think I will still give you the number since it is available. So that's about registration. What do we do? In terms of services, we give a range of services. And our services today cover all aspects of health problems, from physical to mental. So feel free. Be rest assured we are going to have quality service. Now, we have also modified our attendance to patients because the hospitals are meant not only for you, but also for the population of staff, their families, and even the community across the road in Samaru and even the surrounding villages, as long as they can pay for the services. So, but for the students, because most of you may be very busy in the morning hours, we have extended our service hour usually to 8 p.m. So whatever kind of ailment you have, if you go to the University Medical Center from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., you will be attended to. The later hours, 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., we only attend to emergencies. So please, try to find some little window in between these periods. You don't come to us with headache of 5 days and expect to be treated as an emergency. We don't do that. If you come with your headache or your small leg pain or whatever that you have been carrying for 1 week, we'll tell you to go and come back if you present to the clinic after 8 p.m. So that's about attendance to all of you, and it's applicable to both staff and students. Now, the environment, it is our responsibility and also your responsibility to keep ABU in the league of most beautiful campuses in Nigeria. I'm not quite sure, but I knew a few years back we were #1. And I remember vividly when Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala came for the last convocation ceremonies, she made that statement again, that it is the most beautiful campus she has seen in the country. So, for us to keep it up, please respect where you throw away pieces of paper, your waste, and so on and so forth. In particular, the female hostels. Yes, some of you are now raising your heads. You should try as much as possible to maintain environmental sanitation, because all of you know, any minute you spend with fever, with abdominal pain, with whatever kind of illness, you are losing time in the classroom. So please, let us try and help ourselves and help the environment. We'll do our best. If you look at it, 7 a.m., you will see a lot of people trying to clean ABU in virtually everywhere. And I want to make a statement that any students or any student representative that finds their lecture rooms dirty, do not accept to take lectures in that hall. Report to the Director of University Health Services, because there are people that are being paid to keep your lecture rooms clean. If by chance we come on inspection and find that the lecture room is not clean, then the students in that class will be responsible for cleaning it at least for 1 week from the day we catch them in a dirty environment. Now, what do you eat? I'm going to talk briefly about nutrition, because all these things I'm summarizing because we have already given a central talk at the central orientation. And I believe my in-law is likely going to put those papers in a booklet form and will be transmitted to you, either free or you pay a small amount of money for printing it. But be that as it may, for those of you who are coming to Zaria for the first time, I said, and I still stand on it, this is one of the best places where you find food in abundance. It is your budget that makes you eat what you wish to eat. But basically, there are nutritious foods all over the place. We have fruits almost throughout the year, and minerals, vitamins. They can all grow in most parts of Zaria. Virtually anything you can think of can grow on this soil that we are all living around. So please, make time, buy the best you can during the season, because some of the fruits are seasonal. Once in a while, do buy fruits, mix them with your normal carbohydrate and protein diet, and that will be good for you. Now, fasting. Students are in the habit of doing 0-1-1 or 0-1-0 in the desperate situation. I'm sure you all know that as they are coming into the university. When you eat in the morning, we call it 1. You eat in the afternoon is 2. You eat in the evening is 3. 1-1-1. Those of you who don't have sufficient money may miss breakfast, but I want to remind you, please don't miss breakfast as much as you can. Because if you take breakfast, no matter how light it is, you will be a bit better off. Take mild breakfast, light breakfast, moderate lunch, because this is a lunch you can skip without much problem. You need all the energy to concentrate in the class. You need all the energy for your brain cells to be awake. So eat, at least in the morning, and if you are going to miss a meal, then miss lunch. As much as possible, avoid junk food. What is junk food? All these pastries. I'm not condemning those of you who have side hustles, but meat pie, donut, all this stuff, they are actually not good for your health. Well-prepared meals are better. So eat in a restaurant where possible. And if you are going to cook, why the resistance? Why the resistance? There is Nelfon. So spend it. Spend it. Eat well. But please remember, you also need to sleep adequately. If you refuse to sleep, there is always consequences. Always. Because you wake up in the morning, you feel some headache, you go to the class, you can't concentrate. At the end, your absorption is decreased. So even a day to exams, most normal students would have covered their syllabus. So it's just revision. Revision 1-2 hours, you realize that you have covered a lot. So on the exam day, you just come out fresh. You sleep minimum 6 hours, minimum. But as adults, especially young adults, you should not sleep more than 8 hours. This is my advice. In terms of exercise, I've said during the central orientation, those of you who were there saw the cultural troupe. They came in gyrating, doing some dancing. That alone is enough for you. If you can dance for a minimum of maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour every day. Because the World Health Organization requires that you have moderate exercise at least 2 to 3 times in a week for you to be healthy. Now, please, let us all be our brother's keepers. When you see a young girl or a young man with whom you are very close, either living in the same room or you are attending the same class or you are in the same discussion group, who has changed his or her behavior and is not willing to bring him or herself to the hospital, please report and let us get that gentleman or gentlewoman for proper psychological evaluation. We have very good psychiatric clinic and we work very closely with the guidance and counseling. Now, some of you may think this is funny. No, it isn't. When we were students here several years ago, I had a roommate. We didn't realize he had issues. Anytime we are going to pray, that gentleman will continue to do ablution until we finish the prayer. And we come out, he will still be performing ablution. We didn't report. Everybody was minding his own business. Lo and behold, few months later, he started beating everybody. That was the time we used some biochemical reagents on his brain have gone upside down. So, but on a more serious note, if you notice any change in behavior, the earlier we get it, the better for us to manage it. So please, I think I will not talk much. I will stop here. You will get clear guidelines on all these things in the booklet, and I can assure you that the quality of medical services you will receive is as good as in any teaching hospital. Thank you. And congratulations on your admission to the faculty.
Thank you very much, sir, the Director, University Health Services, for the lectures. Health is wealth, and you should take note of all what he has said. A lot of you are playing with phones. Can you all stand up and stretch your body? Can you all stand up? Hello? Get up and stretch your body. We are left with just 3 lectures. In less than 30 minutes, we'll be done. Stretch yourselves. Yes. So when you stretch yourself, now you can all sit down. Now, for the remaining 25 to 30 minutes that we are having, stop playing with your phones and listen. We are having 3 lectures of the security tips, use of lighting, and from student affairs. But before then, I want to quickly invite the Dean Environmental Design to say 1 or 2 things under 2 minutes. Professor Abdullah Abubakar, sir.
My chair, Committee of Deans and Directors, Professor Mariam, Deans and Directors here present, heads of departments, distinguished colleagues, our dear fresh students, good morning or good afternoon. It is about 12:32. I'm here, I'm glad that I'm here because anything to do with life science, I always want to be available because I have some, always when it comes to life science, I say that one, the dean, because she always makes herself available and she's leading us well as our chair, so we have to be there to support her. And then I said, my whole life, you can't talk about Abdullah Abubakar without talking about life science, because the love of my life is from life science. So, I'm here just for a good message. The first thing I'm going to say to you is that, let me start by, on behalf of my Faculty of Environmental Design, to congratulate you for having been admitted into Faculty of Life Sciences that, as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, every other faculty has to spring from that because there has to be life before any other thing on this planet. Now, having said that, a lot of talk about your studies and so on and so forth. And I've had issues to do with CGPAs and so on and so forth, issue of probation and so on and so forth. There's no reason why you should be on probation. Because you have prayed so hard, your parents have prayed so hard, your ancestors have prayed so hard, because for anybody to be existing is not only about him, it's about those that come before him. So for that reason, because of all these prayers, it means that for you to say, God, thank you for the privilege, then you have to take, one of the things you have to do is to take your studies seriously. Your parents are there. You don't know how much hard they're working to keep you here. So please don't disappoint them, make them proud. And the way to make them proud, the minimum you should get is 2.2. And you should tell yourself, why not that first class? At the last convocation, we had somebody with 4.92 on a scale of 5. And you should, this is the right time to tell yourself, I'm going to be one of those. And interestingly now in ABU, it's no longer you come in, you're given an award of a certificate and you go with a cash prize of 10,000 naira. the graduate that went the best went with 10 million naira. So it's not just about the money, but it's about you have something to start up with. So I'm encouraging you that you should please work hard, pray hard. You have control over the input, but you don't have control over the output. The output is the feedback. So whatever comes out, then re-strategize and then move on. So you have to be determined. And to be determined, determination goes in with three things. There has to be ambition, there has to be that willingness, and there has to be discipline. And for that, once again, I congratulate you for coming on board. But however, before I hand over this microphone, I have to also put you into my prayers. May the Lord, as you come in to commence your studies, may we see you through to the end of your graduation. May the Lord grant you the wherewithal so that you stay free from any social vices and exam malpractice. May the Lord grant you the privilege that whatever grade you will have a grade that will sustain your life and sustain the life of others. And may it be a source that you be of service for the growth and development of humankind. May the Lord bless you all.
Thank you very much, sir. You can do better. You can do better. Yes, so 3 posters for him, please. Thank you very much, sir, for the fatherly talk. There is a number that I want to call here that the university, the director just talked about on ABU ambulance services in case of any emergency. And the number is 080 2819 0599. I'll call it again. Yes, it will be displayed. It's for emergency. It's for emergency, please. Not just anyhow, it's ambulance service. I'll call it again. 080 2819 0599. It will be displayed on the screen here. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to invite the university librarian, ably represented by Dr. M. Kasa, to give a talk on the use of library, how you're going to use library, and ABU has one of the largest libraries in West Africa. So he's going to teach you how you use the library wisely. You're welcome, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. Please, I want to greet the Dean and all distinguished colleagues. And you, the students, I welcome you to Ahmadu Bello University. Speak about the library. Interestingly, I listened to the introduction, and the library is saved for the best because it's coming at the last before your security issues. I'm going to speak to all of us because beyond copy and paste, beyond your ignorance, beyond I don't know, that is very frequent with you. You have a companion, you have a friend, you have a space for you to succeed in this journey, because all of us need knowledge. And knowledge simply means the application of what you know into action. Some of us may not like the faces of our lecturers. Some of us may not even like the faces of our friends. And therefore, you need space where you can express yourself. The library gives you that opportunity. I listen to ways, areas of specialization, what you become when you finish graduating. But you should note this, that you can be somebody if you rely on somebody. It means when they say you must follow ethics, you must follow standards, this is a prescribed resolutions. For you in sciences, you must be conscious of processes that lead to a product. You must be conscious of that. And that is where the library now comes in. The library guides you to know your methodology. The library guides you to know your procedures. The library guides you to know the instruments and your forebearers. Who are those authors who have done what? There is nothing new under the sun, whether we like it or not. I listened to the geologists talking that there are many insects to be identified. There are many microorganisms to be identified. Which ones are identified already? You can only come to the storehouse of knowledge. Make best use of this space. For Ahmadu Bello University, the library is conscious of your different generations. We know Gen Z exists here. We know we have the millennials among you. And that is why with just your phone and practically go to any browser and type library.abu.edu.ng. You are in the library. I want you to try it now. There we have given a brief discussion on each of these resources, the area of specialization, and what you can use those resources for. Beyond just access to these resources, 247 electronically, you are also having space in the library. The library is structured in a way that when you go to A to H, J to P, or Q to Z, there are resources that are kept there. And on the ground floor, descriptions of all of these resources are there. My friend, are you there? Did you see the Kashi Grand Library? Now, what I'm saying is that you don't need to come into the library in a physical space. You have access to these resources. All you need to do is just select what is there, and a descriptor is given to you. For you, you are entitled to borrow 5 books that you can use for 2 weeks. So when you come, borrow 5 books because you are at the level of undergraduate. You can borrow 5 books that you can use for 2 weeks. And you can renew those books 3 times. Do you understand what I'm saying? Next is that the library teaches you what to do because we have trained experts who will create a better relationship when you are having difficulties with understanding your lecturers. But if you listen to the guide and counseling, it says you should have self-respect and you have what? Responsibility upon yourself. So when you come with all your questions, as undergraduate student, we will refer you to the MTN Net Library. If you check your payment sheet, you will see that there's a place written there, library, right? MTN Connect, is it true? And you are paying about 1,000 naira, right? Please come to the library because you have paid for such services. It is our duty to expose you to surfing the internet, expose you to resources that will be relevant to you because we are servicing the entire programs that are accredited by the Nigerian University Commission. So take advantage of that. Yes, they say you should recognize whose work you have used. It's simply saying you should cite properly. We're also going to teach you how to cite work in a way that the person's work that you have used will not be like you have formulated or you have cheated by giving wrong information. Many of your lecturers here, I know that several years ago, because some of them are like bookworms, to be very honest. They are always in the library. I'm not saying you should be bookworms, no. but know what you want, even in your confused state, come to the library. We will guide you and teach you what you need to know. Finally, it is our responsibility to address all forms of ignorance. If you have troubled area, I didn't take courses in physical sciences, but one thing I can assure you is that there's nothing about physical sciences that I don't know. And what is it that I know? I know because you have come to the library to ask me about programs in physical sciences. The more I lead you to those books, the more challenges, life science. The more I lead you to those books, the more I know. And I'm ready to lead you to those books so that you too should know better. Why? Because this is your own area of specialization. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, the representative of the university librarian. He ended by saying the library is your friend. If you want to have access to any book, follow the tips, and that is the site there that you can use to get to the library books. I want to invite the representative of the Dean, Student Affairs, to give you 1 or 2 minutes of advice on how you conduct yourselves in ABU and how you interact with one another to succeed in your academics. I invite Professor Mahmoud, Professor H.S. Mahmoud to give this talk. You're welcome.
Good evening, Professor Ahmadu, the other deans and directors here present, head of department, and the fresh new students. Good afternoon. I'm here to present my dean, although he has said that he will just say something for 1 or 2 minutes. I have an address here for you to refresh your minds again from the orientation that you had previously last week. And you have listened so much to what I am going to repeat again, but it is all for good. So I'll start by saying Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It is my pleasure and privilege to welcome you on behalf of the Dean of Student Affairs Division, Professor Sahalu B. Junaid, and the staffs of the division. Gaining admission to the Faculty of Life Sciences is a significant achievement. It reflects your determination, academic promise, and readiness to take the next step in your educational journey. You are therefore welcome into a community that values knowledge, discipline, innovation, and responsible citizenship. Orientation programs as this are designed to properly introduce you to the academic, administrative, and social environment of the university. This is your opportunity to understand the rules and regulations that guide your conduct, the academic expectations placed upon you, which have earlier been discussed, and the numerous support services available to help you succeed. The undergraduate student handbook is always available on the university website. It is a useful source of information that will guide your stay here. Please find time to read this student's handbook. As students of Faculty of Life Sciences, you are entering a field that is dynamic, competitive, and central to global development. Already, this has been well explained that it is also a way of getting a lot of grants, a means of you getting rich. The initial, the first presenter who talked showed us a slide that showed you as a scholar and a lot of dollars. So, So as students of Faculty of Life Sciences, the skills we acquire here, if combined with discipline, creativity, and ethical conduct, will position you for meaningful contributions to society. Be informed that academic excellence alone is not enough. Character, integrity, and respect for institutional values are equally important. I will emphasize that the university places high value on discipline and good conduct. You are expected to obey all institutional rules and regulations, respect constituted authority, and maintain peaceful coexistence with fellow students and staffs. Acts of examination malpractice, cultism, drug abuse, harassment, vandalism, and other forms of misconduct are not tolerated and attract appropriate sanctions. Therefore, I urge you to shun negative influences and focus on the purpose for which you are here. The Division of Student Affairs exists to support you academically and personally. That is your academic and personal development through guidance and counseling services, student welfare units, clubs, and associations, sports health services, leadership development programs. We are committed to ensuring that you have a fulfilling and well-rounded student experience here in Ahmadu Bello. Do not hesitate to seek help whenever the need arises. The Dean of Student Affairs portal and contact channels are active for you. The Student Affairs Division is just a few steps away from this hall at the first floor of the Senate building. That's the office. I also encourage you to manage your time wisely, attend lectures regularly, engage in practical learning, and make responsible use of faculty facilities. Faculty equipment, most of them, they're precision equipment. Use them responsibly. While the internet offers vast opportunities, misuse of digital tools can be harmful to your studies and personal development. Consult your departmental registration officer to avoid missing out a required course. That is a required course registration that may cause confusion during the exam or after exams. Abide by the regulations governing your stay in the hostel and use the toilet facilities responsibly. The last speaker also talked of ladies and the toilets in the female hostels. Please do well to use these toilets responsibly. Dear students, the success or failure of your stay here depends largely on the choices you make here today. Be focused, be disciplined, be curious, and be determined to succeed. Surround yourselves with positive peers and mentors who will inspire you to be better. In conclusion, I commend the Dean and staff of the faculty for organizing this orientation program. Please pay attention, ask questions where need arises, consult the student handbook to guide you as you are on campus right now. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Prof. She has given you all from the Student Affairs Division. Please, another round of applause for her. Before we take the talk on security, which is very important, you may not understand how important security is if you did not come into one. So the representative of the Chief Security Officer will talk to you on security. You're welcome, sir.
I beg to uphold the already established protocol. Good afternoon, students. Good afternoon, students. Thank you. The CSO, the Chief Security Officer, have sent me here to talk to you about security on campus. I am given a time that's very short, so let me see how to put. Oh, the Chief Security Officer's name is Malang Ashiru Tizango. Yes, he's the one that sent me here. The Ahmadu Bello University Security Services, we are directly under the office of the Vice Chancellor. Our headquarters is situated in between ASU Secretariat and the ABU Bookshop, opposite IDR. And we have our outposts in every faculty. I'm sure you have seen our outposts at your faculty. And our primary responsibility is to ensure the protection of life and property of ABU in its entirety. We ensure that we also fight crime in ABU, and we also ensure that the rules and regulations of ABU are being adhered to, as in we implement the rules and regulations of ABU. And we also provide security coverage for management programs, faculty programs, and students programs that have been approved by management. We also settle disputes between students and students, between students and staff and staff and staff. And we also give security orientation, awareness education on various occasions at different levels. So that is what we do. We are also responsible for producing the ID card for every member of ABU community. So in terms of security challenges on campus, we are trying our best, but then just as you know, anywhere you find people of such diverse background like ABU, there must be issues of security. And so one of the things we battle with here is issue of theft. And so we encourage our students that ensure you protect your own properties, either in the hostel or in the academic area. Protect them, get your lockers, put your stuff there and lock it properly. Ensure the door to your rooms are secured. If they are not secured, go to the appropriate authorities, the portal, and ensure that the locks are in place. When you are in the class, make sure you have your eye on your gadgets, whether you are charging them or you are keeping them and not using them. Then we encourage our students, because we discovered that recently students are also engaging in theft. It's more honorable to ask somebody to give you something than to steal it from the person. So avoid it. And we also have issues of drug abuse, drug and substance abuse, which is common among your generation, and it involves both male and female. And for your information, ABU has zero tolerance for possession and for use. And if you're already using, please, the system is very ready to help you to come clean. So you can report to the security, you can come to the University Medical Center, the Counseling and Human Development, or even from your course advisor, you can start from your department. I am having this problem, please, I want to de-escalate myself. Then for those of you that have not started using, please don't attempt it. That's why they are guiding you on how to program your natural system so that you work naturally, don't depend on anything at all. Because addiction comes gradually by you are trying to use to see how it enhances your performance, and before you know, you become addicted. Then issues of breach of trust. A lot of times students borrow something from another student and they don't return it, either money or academic material. We have a lot of it here, so please, if you make a promise, make sure you keep to it. Then issues of internet use. A lot of things are happening in the internet world, the social media world. We encourage our students to interact. Of course, a lot of things have gone digital, but please mind your security while you are interacting on the social media. For the first point, we encourage our students to minimize their personal data that they display on social media. And secondly, as you make friends on social media, ensure that they are friends that you can verify. so that they don't lure you into any form of mischief. And if you are invited from any social media platform to attend any program, whether it's a party, verify the organizers of those parties properly. And please, on no occasion should you have an appointment with somebody you met on social media outside in a private place. Make sure you meet with the person in a public place. And maybe you have a lot of resting joints that you can sit with somebody and discuss, even without any other person listening on. And we also encourage that for every social media platform you are using, ensure it is properly secured. A lot of them have different levels of security, two-step security for Facebook, for WhatsApp, and all of that, because the bad guys can use you to enter into a BU system. You are getting me? So please, let's ensure we do that. And for our movement on campus, please ensure you walk secured. Don't walk with your earpiece completely on. If you must wear it, please drop one ear, because when you are talking about security, it starts with your senses. At least you can hear what is coming on, you can see what is coming on, you can feel it, you can smell it, you understand? So when you are walking, and don't also walk, there's something we say, if you present yourself like you can be attacked, there's every likelihood that you will be attacked. You understand? And so we also encourage that you don't walk lonely on very distance places, like people that walk in, I don't know whether you have such distances to cover, but I know as students go to Drama Village, then some of you go to the CPT center around gym and all of that. We encourage that you walk in twos, walk in group. Don't walk alone, especially during the dark hours or on a very lonely path. And don't go to places that are not properly lit. The management is trying its best to lit the entire campuses, but due to lean resources, we are still having dark spots. Don't walk on such places. And we also encourage our students to ensure that if you are going somewhere, whether you're staying on campus or off campus, talk to somebody to know your location per time. Don't just be moving around without giving information on where you are at a point. And please avoid keeping late nights. If you have a reason to be out, program yourself in such a way that as the day is dawning, as the night is falling, you are returning back to your place of residence. We also encourage our students, if you need to travel, talk about traveling security, ensure you board from designated bus stops, and to avoid one chance, reduce your level of hitchhiking. Don't just go and stand by the road and say you want to enter a bus or a car. And for those of us boarding tricycle, keke, marua, be very vigilant when you enter those keke. If you see anything untoward, you can request to be dropped at any point, because they are fond of hypnotizing people and dispossessing them of their valuables, like handsets particularly. And there are also people moving around that are hypnotizing people. They will come to you. Some of them will begin to tell you that they see something about you that is not good. They want to pray for you. They know your name. They know the family you are coming from. If you see any of such signs, please rush to the next security office and report. Then we also encourage our students not to admit strangers into their hostel rooms or those of us staying off campus. If anybody claims he or she is stranded, please direct them to the University Security Services of the closest point. Because ABU security, like the student affairs, hand in hand with the security services, they can give strangers accommodation. Some of you can attest to it. When you came to write your post-UTME, they gave you accommodation and all of that. So don't take things into your own hands. And please ask and receive directives from designated authorities, and ensure you adhere to the rules and regulations of examination, rules and regulations of hostel accommodation, academic rules and regulations, and everything that's guiding your stay on ABU campus. And we also encourage you that for your financial security, ensure you secure your bank apps, and don't give your ATM PIN and your bank app PINs to people that you don't trust. Don't keep too much cash with you at a point. Take enough that will solve. And thank God many things are going online. And talking about ID cards, you have reminded me that I should ensure that I will tell every one of you to get your ID card. I can understand that for some reasons, some people's own have not been produced, but ensure you are moving around with a copy of your admission letter, because that is the point we use to identify you, because there are some persons on campus that are not students, but they are posing as students. And those are the kind of persons that are giving us trouble. So ensure you always go with your ID card wherever you are going. And finally, we solicit information from you. And how do you give us information? As you have come to ABU, whether you are staying in the hostel or you are staying off campus, please familiarize yourself with the environment, know the normal things that happen in your environment on a daily basis. And we are encouraging you that the moment you see anything abnormal, please come to us and speak to us. One of the things we also ensure is the protection of your identity. If you see either your classmate or your roommate or anybody making some moves that you know, it may turn out to be that the person has some criminal tendencies, please come to us and tell us. We will not reveal your identity. We'll make good use of the information, because one thing that is very important for security is information. And so we encourage our students to join hands with us. The ABU is always ahead. One of the reasons we are always ahead is that if you come to ABU, you become a stakeholder and you have a role to play, and you play your role. Your role now needs to be law-abiding and to also avail us useful information to ensure that we secure ABU properly. So we say that anytime you see something, please talk to us, say something. And if it's something that you can intervene, this generation, you are fond of taking pictures and videos when things are happening. Whether it's accident, whether it's two fighting, please intervene instead of taking videos and taking pictures. You get it? That is why we say that if you see something, say something and also do something. So once again, I congratulate you for making it to this big university, and I am wishing you that you stay well, stay secure, and finish well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. If you see something, say something. Yes. Before we move to the last item on the agenda, which will be addressed by the NALI's president, I don't know if you have questions and answers, even though we have exhausted most of our time here. But if you have one or two, we can take them. Otherwise, are there questions? I think we can take two. Yes, we can take two questions. Can you collect that? Yes, this question goes, when are we starting our tests? The second one is we are restricted from taking any form of paper into exam hall. How do we solve mathematical questions? Yes, the other one is, how do microbiology students begin to identify particular microbes to study deep? Yes, I think that's just a question that has to be answered. How do microbiology students begin to identify the particular microbes to study deep into? I think the representative of the HOD of microbiology can quickly answer that. Okay.
Thank you for that question. So I guess the person is trying to find out, how do you study microorganisms deeply? So by the time you start taking microbiology courses, you'll be introduced to general microbiology and microbiology in specific fields, in the field of medical, industrial, environmental, soil, aquatic, and what have you. So when you start studying microbiology, you are going to be running practicals at the same time with your lectures. So when you start doing that, you will now see how you can identify microorganisms, how you can isolate them, whether it's from medical specimen or environmental specimen. And then you'll be introduced to ways in which you can study their functions, their characteristics, identifying them, and what have you. So with time, everything starts from somewhere. So with time, you will begin to build interest. You learn how to study them, how to identify them, and then you will now know how to use them eventually. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. For the person that asked about when we are asked not to take any material to the exam, or how do we solve mathematical problems? There are mathematical sets, and I think there is also 4-figure table. So all you need to solve mathematical problems will be provided for you during the exam. And your test will start very soon as lectures are rounding up. With this, I invite.
Okay, thank you very much. Concerning the CAs, usually the University Games Committee brings out a timetable. So immediately after the mid-semester break, you will have your CAs, starting from your general courses, then your general science courses will come up too. And most of them will be CBT tests. So get prepared. If you have not started preparing, you are late already. Then mathematical problems during exams, usually solve everything in your answer booklet. If you fill the answer booklet, there is provision for extra sheets for you, but you are not expected to go in with anything, any additional material. If you go in with additional material, if it is not relevant, there is a punishment for it. So don't go in with anything. So go in, you are also allowed to use your calculators if they are not programmable. But if they are programmable calculators, you can also run into trouble having them inside. So I think these are some of the things I think you should know.
CBT, what about CBT?
Okay, then as at Friday, only 60% of you have presented yourselves for faculty screening. The remaining 40%, up to now, we do not recognize you as our students. So we encourage you to come with your credentials for the screening. An important part of the screening, after we have screened, we also give you the student handbook. So most of what has taken place today is contained in the student handbook. The officials at the faculty level and at the departmental level are also contained in the student handbook. So we encourage you to come and finish up the screening so that you can get the student handbook. Without the screening, very soon your exam card will be ready. You'll be expected to print and bring them for signing in the faculty. If you have not been screened in the faculty, we will not sign the examination card. If your examination card is not signed, it means you'll not be allowed to write any exams. So I advise you quickly, before the end of this week, come and finish up your screening and also get your student handbook. Ironically, in the university has an assembly hall, but there is no assembly. In your secondary school, every morning you come out for assembly, every information is given to you, but here, no assembly. So make the notice board your friend. Every morning, once we report to the faculty or department, the first thing to check is the notice board. Before you leave the faculty or department at the end of the day, check the notice board, because every important information for you is usually pasted on the notice board. Your timetable, authentic timetable, is placed on the notice board. When I was teaching 111, I discovered some of you have wrong timetables. Authentic timetables are released by the various departments. So please, we observe students share a lot of timetables online, and some of them have some incorrect slots. So we advise you take timetables from the department. When it comes to CA timetable and examination timetable, most students don't go to check by themselves. They just sit down and wait for somebody to share on a platform. It's very, very dangerous. Students have missed CAs, students have missed examinations because they do not go and check the timetable by themselves, or they run to a wrong venue. And because it is CBT, you are not enabled to write at that particular, so you go to a wrong venue, you cannot access the CA in a wrong venue. So please check the schedule
where you are supposed to write. So make sure you have the authentic timetable. Also take note of the time. Don't sleep when you are supposed to be writing exams. We've had students who slept off. Yes, okay, did you say in the mosque? So please make sure you get the correct timetable. I have missed an exam because I missed the time in my final year. So I know how bad and how terrible it can be. So I came to write the paper 1 year later when my mates were coming back from youth service. So you know it cannot be, and that was when they increased school fees from 2,000 to 12,000. So I came to pay additional 10,000 apart from logistics. So I advise you, please take these things very importantly. Some of the things given challenges in CAs and exams, students come in with phones, smart wristwatches. Whether you use it or you don't use it is an offense. So anything that will put you in trouble, do away with it as much as possible. Then the university has provision for add or drop. You registered your courses at the beginning of the semester, you have taken some electives. After 1 or 2 weeks, for one reason or the other, maybe the elective you took is clashing with a corpus. You have an opportunity to drop it within a specified period of time. So utilize that time. Drop it while it is time. Or you forgot to register a particular course that is important. Within the first few weeks of registration and lectures, you can add or drop. After that, the portal is closed and you cannot do anything about it. So be careful and be watchful. Don't hand over your registration to anybody in the cafe. And when they are complaining, say it is the cafe man that did this. Please, you are the student, not the person in the cafe. So take responsibility for your registration. I know of a student who she gave her boyfriend the registration to do for her. And then within the semester, they had issues. So he went to the portal and dropped all the courses for her. When exams card came, she had only 2 courses left registered. And she could only write those 2 courses. So please take responsibility of your registration. Your password should be secret and should only be known to you. Then the university has room also for deferment. If for any reason you can't cope, you have started the session, whether financial reasons or health grounds, there is a provision. Don't just go home. Don't just disappear. There is a provision you can write formally to the university so that you can defer the semester or a complete session. At your own time, you can come back and continue from where you have stopped. So for all these texts, guidance at the department level, at the faculty level, at the university health services, depending on the challenge that you have, you'll be guided appropriately to do the right thing at the right time. So when you have challenges, please report for counsel so that you'll be advised on what to do. You can even defer without paying school fees. So now you have registered your first year, yes. By the second year, if for lack of school fees or health grounds or any reason, you cannot continue that, you can formally write without paying your school fees, and then you defer. At the appropriate time, when you think you can go, you can come back and then write and continue from where you have stopped. So I think this is the brief I want to give. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Assistant Dean, Dr. Yahuza Tanimu.
Please, if you need any advice on anything, you can come to the faculty, the Assistant Dean's office. Once I'm in, I leave the door open. It's a sign that you are welcome, so that if you have any complaint or anything, your student leaders are also there to guide you. But very importantly, come to us so that you can get correct information. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. There's one last question before I invite the NALIS president, and the question goes to University Health Services. The student asked, what is the effect of eating late, even as a student?
No one is encouraged to eat after 7 p.m. Now, order, please. We are talking from health perspective. For those of you who did boarding school, if you recall very well, dinner is always served around 6 p.m. That is the best time to serve it, especially if the dinner is going to be heavy. After 7 p.m., we don't expect anybody, big or small, except a child, to eat anything heavy. There is no problem, 1 or 2 pieces of biscuits or 1 or 2 slices of bread with some tea. That is what in most affluent boarding schools, they call them nightcap. If you pass through those schools around 10 p.m. or so, before you go to bed, they will give you what they call nightcap. But there is no point for anyone, for any reason, to go and take amala, rice and beans, eba, at 9 p.m., at 10 p.m. In fact, it's even worse if you take it around 11. The whole concept is like this. If you eat from the time you have your last meal, you should not lie down until 4 hours later. That is the best policy, because if you don't, then those of you who will have lectures from us in physiology, you will learn about what we call gastroesophageal reflux. So these are the category of patients or students who will develop epigastric pain very early in life. It's not an ulcer, but it is GERD. You can Google everything about it. So eating late is out of the question. You can have some nightcap, but it has to be something very light. Otherwise, normal gastric emptying time is 4 to 6 hours. So if you eat now and lie down, the whole meal will regurgitate up. Inside your stomachs, because many people, this is not stomach. Stomach is still inside. Those of you who did biology will know. So that stomach, there is a sphincter up, esophageal sphincter. There is a sphincter down, gastroduodenal sphincter. The gastroduodenal sphincter is usually stronger. So it keeps the meal within the stomach for minimum 4 hours, and the stomach contracts like this to ensure that whatever eba or tuo or whatever you have swallowed is churned into liquid form before it is now dripping into the intestine from time to time. So when you lie down, the acidic content of the stomach will go up to the lower esophagus, which should not be. Once it is there, the acid will corrode your lower esophagus, giving you gastroesophageal problems. Please avoid it.
Thank you very much, sir. For those of you who cook beans at night, you have heard that. Ladies and gentlemen, on the last item, I want to invite the president of National Association of Life Sciences, Comrade Bashir Saidu, to give his address.
Thank you, sir. The dean, the deputy dean, the assistant dean, the HODs present here today. I would like to start by saying good morning, and also good morning to, I'm coming back to you guys now. So good afternoon to you all, my fellow students too. I would like to start by thanking our dear parents who left all their busy schedule to come here and educate us, which has, by the way, been a very, very productive session. And even I, as a 400 level student, have learned so many things that I've never had the privilege of learning before. I'd like to ask you to please give them a round of applause. First and foremost, welcome to Ahmadu Bello University. Welcome to Faculty of Life Sciences. I know you've been welcomed before, but the welcome continues. I'd like to start. Mine is going to be a very short one, and it's going to be in form of advice. First and foremost, I'd like to start by telling you about the university. You see, university life is all about freedom. It's not like your secondary school life where there are strict rules and regulations. We have rules and regulations here, but usually you are supposed to be the one to tell yourself to do and not to do. So you should be wise enough to know that. So you see, freedom without discipline leads you to failure. So I would like to implore each and every one of you here to try your possible best to be disciplined enough and to also respect your lecturers, respect all the people that God has placed above you. Secondly, protect your CGPA, like your life depends on it. I know what I'm saying. So you see, this issue of CGPA, Professor So has left. He talked about everything that has to do with CGPA, and there's a particular scenario where he said students usually just take the average of their previous CGPA and then previous GPA and then the current GPA and sum it up, divide it by 2, and they think that's all. You see, one thing about CGPA is that it affects all your levels, down from 200 level up to 400 level. If you start strong from 100 level, it's going to be a very smooth ride for you in ABU. But if you start, I don't know how to say it, but if you start anyhow, you are going to stress yourself a lot when you come to graduate. So please and please, I want each and every one of you to try their possible best to read. Just read. I'm not just saying you should read. We are not just here to only read. Try to read and understand. Know what you are doing. Thirdly, I'd like to say that please don't let any distractions take you away from your primary assignment here in ABU. There are so many distracting activities, and there are so many activities you can benefit from. So whenever you are invited for a particular program or anything is being held, please and please think for yourself. Tell yourself whether it's right for you to be there or not to be there. So lastly, I would like to tell you, this is just a little word of advice. You came here as freshers, you will leave here as graduates, or let me say as professionals. But what you become in between now and graduation will depend on your decisions you start making today. Please choose discipline. You should choose growth, and by the special grace of God, Allah is going to help you through. I remain my humble self, Sayyid Bashir Muhammad. The National Association of Life Sciences Students is always here for you. Any complaints you have, like the assistant dean rightly said, any complaints you have, you can forward it to us or to them directly. And inshallah, we are going to see to it that we go to the appropriate authorities to take care of it. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. 3 questions for him. Yes. Before I call on the faculty officer to give the vote of thanks, I recognize the presence of Professor D.S. Apolude. He's a senior professor in the Department of Biology. He's been sitting in the midst of students there. Please give him a round of applause for recognizing himself with you. Yes, the orientation officer, vote of thanks. Professor D.S. Apolude, please can you stand up for recognition, sir? Can you stand up for recognition, sir? So please, another round of applause for him.
Good afternoon, all.
I stand on the existing protocols. I am grateful to all our special guests, our guest speakers for honoring our invitation. Thank you, sirs and ma'ams. And to our students, thank you also for availing yourself to sit under the tutelage of our mentors here. I hope you have a nice stay in the university. I wish you the best as you pursue through your career. Thank you all, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much. With this, we have closed for the day, and then there will be a group photograph here. The dean, staff, and students, everybody, including all of you up there. And